Welcome to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast, where we dive deep into the home gym scene. Each week, we put out Sunday surveys where you tell us your thoughts on products, builds, and all things home gym related. We're here to break down the numbers and to talk shop. So thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam, joined by Jake, and tonight we have a great episode for you. We're going to be doing a 2024 HomeGymCon update. We have some new products from Abmat, Darko, and Cleva that we're excited to tell you about. We have some survey results. We're going over a home gym issues survey that we repeat and have some new results for you there. Product idea from Jake, and then I'm going to tell you about the Bells of Steel plate-loaded cable tower to do kind of a comparison with the selectorized tower that Jake told you about last time. So with all of that, we're going to get started with that HomeGymCon update. Jake?
Thank you, Adam. And it has been a few weeks. It is kind of the slow season, so not a ton of updates. Hopefully this will be a pretty quick episode. But in regards to HomeGymCon updates, so we added, I guess you can say 3/4 new vendors since we last chatted. So Inertia Wave, Body Solid, / Rugged Fitness. So they're kind of like they're all under the same, they're both under the same umbrella company, but everybody knows Body Solid, and then Rugged is kind of their home gym brand. And then lastly, Pepin Dumbbells will be there. They recently have partnered with Havoc and should be collaborating on a booth with Havoc. So since the founder's going to be there, they get their own logo.
Awesome. Let's get into those new products. The first one we have is from Abmat. It's the Zercher Pad. It's designed to make Zercher squats, carries, and lunges more comfortable. Zercher's, for if you don't know, resting that bar in the sleeve of your elbows can get pretty uncomfortable. I've personally never done a Zercher because I don't like things touching the inside of my elbows. So this to me seems like a great idea. Hey, Jake, do you remember ever lowering the 6-foot rim when you're in elementary school and trying that Vince Carter dunk, hanging your elbow in there?
Yes.
That's all I think of when I do Zerchers, and it hurt so bad when I was like, in 6th grade. I never tried it. So,
yeah.
Hey, good job, Abmat, for making a very unique movement a little bit more comfortable.
I did get the Zercher Pad, and I haven't quite used it, but it seems pretty cool.
Fits nice.
I haven't used it, but
yeah.
I mean, seems like it would. And then I have done the Zercher squats on like those squat harnesses with like the pegs.
Yeah.
And then that works pretty well too. But I don't know. I never really found myself using it.
Right. Very unique
but this
movement.
looks like a cool option. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Awesome. Next one we have for you is the Thresher Pad. This one's coming from you with Darko Lifting. A home gymmer like us who started manufacturing some pretty cool equipment. What makes this one so unique and different is that it uses your spotter arms. It's got 5 adjustable angles. It's basically like your Bulldog pad, or PRX also has a pad. But yeah, this one you attach right to your spotter arms, and super cool. So good job, Darko. Keep it up. We love the new stuff.
Yeah, pretty cool option. Next up, the Adroit Landmine 2.0 is available for pre-order. We got a chance to check this out at HomeGymCon, but there's a number of different variations that you can do within these two different basic options. But number one is the remote mount option. So this can be used in with like a plate, so you can put it in any area of wherever you want to use the landmine. It includes a quick release knob that should make attaching and removing secure and also easy. And it includes all of the primary features as well. The same primary features as the rack mounted option that's available now as well, which includes only one hole. So it should be easier to add to the rack and remove. As opposed to like the 2 right now. And then it also includes an optional magnet mount for storage. So one thing is with the landmine, it kind of like lays there on the ground. With this magnet option, you're able to push back and attach it to your rack to not disrupt anything on the floor. I don't know. Looks nicer and you won't trip over it, I guess. And then I won't get into all of the specs because they're include things like acetyl hand nut for rack protection and ease of relocating. Adam and I don't really know what that stuff means, but in general, very high quality stuff as well. I will say I do like the idea of the AbMat barbell pillow on each of these. It's
just included.
Pretty good idea. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the magnet seems like such a good idea, and it seems so simple.
Yeah. And one thing that we didn't put up on this, the notes here is there is you have the 1.0 option. It does include there's a adapter that you can use so that you can still just use that simple sleeve for, and not necessarily have to buy an entire one. So looking out for us there. And let's quickly go over some survey results. So home gym issues. This is a repeat survey that we do each year. We typically do it twice a year, but we're just going to do it once a year because it hasn't really changed much. For example, the top 2 issues from last time remain unchanged. So the biggest issue is the price of obtaining more equipment. And then the second biggest issue is simply lack of space. We could go down the entire line, but really, again, not too many changes. But at the very bottom of the list, just for your reference, are things like working out safely, equipment aging quickly, and then finishing workouts in the home gym. And then there were a few changes from last year, but overall the percentages didn't really change. But I'll just highlight that ceiling height did go from the 3rd biggest issue down to the 7th biggest issue this year. And then keeping your home gym clean became a little bit of a bigger issue, went from 7 to 5. Quality of equipment in home gym went from 10 to number 8. So that's also a little bit bigger of an issue. So, we'll have to wait to see till next year if any of these issues go up again. But a little bit of change that we'll highlight just for the sake of highlighting, even though it's not very much. All right, and then I have a product idea, Adam. So we've been discussing adjustable dumbbells, I feel like, quite a bit. One thing that I would love to see in a perfect world is a portable and adjustable dumbbell storage. So right now, for example, for my power blocks, I have the Titan stand. Pretty nice option, but I find myself it'd be nice to be able to, if I'm benching somewhere, be able to move it over to one side of the gym and then also lower it for bench. Or if I wanted to do curls, be able to raise it up. So again, not quite sure how you do that, but just throwing out something that I'd like to see.
No, I think it's a really good idea because the first thing I thought of especially with that up-down arrow, it reminds me of your standing desk, but just push a button, it raises and lowers. And I could see that being integrated into something small like this. So I didn't think that was a bad idea at all. As far as a rating, I would give it, especially being able to wheel it around. If you could do that, I don't know if battery would work, if it'd have to be plugged in and you could just kind of move it in a radius or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give the idea an 8. I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how many people would go for it. It seems like a very luxury thing to have, but I don't think it's a bad idea at all.
Dang, I don't know if you've given me an 8 before.
I'm sure I have. 1 or 2. No, I think
what do you think? I've seen a few. What do you think about for people with adjustable dumbbells, rack mounted adjustable dumbbell storage? Do you like that idea or no?
Rack mounted adjustable dumbbell storage. So I'm guessing you'd have a 6-post rack and then on the back where people put kettlebells, adjustable dumbbells. That's a great idea.
Yeah. It's just like a tray. I've seen one from Oak Club, I think. And then maybe Iron Master. I can't remember.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea, especially
I do like that idea too.
Yeah, if your bench stays near your rack anyway. Yeah, super good idea.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing more of those too, actually.
Yeah.
All right, let's chat the bells of steel plate loaded cable tower.
Yeah, so last time Jake talked about his selectorized tower, so we talked about bringing on the plate loaded and talking about that with you guys this time. So I'm going to talk about like the positives, the negatives, comparing it to the selectorized tower, and then just talking about like those DIYers out there and how this thing can be used. So in my gym, I have cinder block walls. I didn't want to deal with drilling through the walls and then securing it to the wall. It does need to be secured to the wall, so I basically just tacked up a 2x4 and drilled it in there. It's a really great option for a lot of my accessory work. Jake mentioned last time he could see this being in like one of those top items after barbell, plates, bench, rack that you would add. And I think in a different world, than how I set up mine, before dumbbells and stuff like that, like this would be the next option because you can do all your accessories on it. In my gym, it's basically like face pulls because I can, get that trolley arm at the right height for like face pulls. I like doing a lot of those. And then a lot of like bicep curls and weird movements like that. I don't really use it for triceps because I have a selectorized lat pull down tower that I just use for triceps instead. But it's a really big accessory piece for me and it gets used quite a bit. All right, so I just my takeaways for positives and negatives. Positives first, it adds a ton of versatility to your gym. So if you're like a compound movement with your barbell stuff and then you go to accessories, you can do all your you can do a lot of accessories with this, with all the different like starting points and your 2-to-1 ratio and your double handles. You can get a lot done. Another positive would be how smooth it is compared to other plate loaded options. I sold the Titan Fitness plate loaded tower because I didn't like all the friction that it had with it. And this one is significantly better. I'll just say that. Your ability to add to it and like unique configurations. I've seen online where people have attached these to the back of their rack. I've seen where people have 2 of them and they use it like a Smith machine. Bell's actually sells a pull-up bar to go in between. You can use it as a squat machine and a functional trainer. So one big positive is how easy it is to add to. And then how well it's priced. It's $349, free shipping. So I don't think you can beat it with how good it is. So that price is awesome. Negatives, those plastic pulleys, there's still some friction there. It's not as smooth as like the aluminum that you'd get with the selectorized tower, but they do have a $140 upgrade. So for an extra $140, you can add aluminum pulleys. I don't know if I would actually end up doing that. It would be better, but I don't know if it's worth. That'd be interesting. Yeah, it's nice to have it there. Yeah, I'll just say that.
Yeah, then it's a totally different price point.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another negative is like when you want a 1-to-1 pulley ratio and you attach those together, just the amount of friction that you get when you're pulling it, it's definitely not as smooth as using a single handle at a time. So I just end up using one handle, the 2-to-1 ratio. I don't use the 1-to-1 at all. And then, like I said, it needs to be bolted to something. They have a picture where they put a weight horn on the back and they load some 45s. That doesn't look secure to me. I haven't done that, obviously, but bolting it to the wall's fine. But then you're not going to be able to move it around. So there's been times where like I've wanted to have this in a different place, but I'm not going to unbolt it, peel off a 2x4 and move it. So it stays where it's at. So those are the positive and negatives on the plate loaded tower. But comparing it to the Selectorize is easier to use. It's much smoother. And it's just overall like a superior option. But then you have to think about the price difference. So $349 is the plate loaded option, and then $1,100 for the Selectorize option. So you could get almost 3 plate loaded machines for the price of one Selectorize. So for a lot of you out there on a budget, or it takes you a while to add a piece to your gym, this plate loaded option is awesome because of that price. So it's worth getting one of these if it fits into your budget. If the Selectorize is not a big like purchasing issue for you, you just have a bigger budget, I would definitely go that option. It's a lot better. But one way to do it is to get the plate loaded option and then sell it when you're ready to upgrade, because these things do really well in the used markets. They don't stay long. The Titan one that I had sold extremely quick for like, I think almost 80-90% of what I paid for it originally. So they're really good on the resale value. And lastly, I just want to talk about those people who like to DIY. So I have 2 people here. So Kaizen, Kyle, his DIY stuff, and then Also, Matthew Porter, he's been doing a lot of cool stuff with these, this exact thing, the bells plate loaded. I have some pictures on here, but Kyle made an awesome belt squat using this. Matthew Porter's done this extension over the top, put in a seat, and it's a lat pull down. It looks awesome. He's also attached a seat and made it into like a leg extension as well. It's like a full machine for him. There's another one where Kyle, I think Matthew did it too, but they put almost like extendable arms on the top to do cable crossovers, because where these points, like the two handles are, they show people doing cable crossovers, but you're going to want it much more spread out. And so they found a way to do that. So some really cool stuff. If you really like Matthew Porter's picture there, or if you go to his Instagram page, he did end up saying he was building the little conversion kit to make that a lat pull down. So he said you can hit him up, and he's actually selling those. So, or just check both those guys out for inspiration. But I think a machine like this for $349, awesome price point to like tinker with if you're one of those people.
Pretty cool. And if I'm someone like Bells of Steel, I am partnering with these guys to bring these products to life, because a lot of innovation here.
Can you imagine that as like just like an upgrade option? Be super cool.
Super cool. Yeah. Especially for selectorized too.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think, I recently was at Adams and I used this plate loaded, and I mentioned I had the selectorized option. And honestly, if you're on a budget, I would not save up for the selectorized version. I would just get the plate loaded. Sure, the selectorized one is great. I personally like the fact that I've already moved it like 3 times. So that's been a plus. But if you have a spot that you can dedicate a plate loaded option to, and you're not going to have to move it around, I would almost just go that and maybe get 3 of them. Right. Because it's a pretty solid option. And there is a difference with the aluminum pulleys for sure. But again, it's one of those things where you can upgrade in a year or 2 if you really find it an issue.
Yeah, super cool machine.
Kind of my feedback,
yeah, and bringing in a standalone tower, I think it should be a top item on your list, I think, for everything that you can do with it, especially at that price. But there it is.
There it is.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Did you like tonight's episode? Well, then be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved on our website for all your home gym content needs. Be sure to keep following HomeGymCon 2024. Man, it's an impressive lineup this year, and we want you to be a part of it. Jake, do you have anything else left for the listeners?
Nope.
All right, guys. Boss said no, so we'll catch you next time.